All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Friday stream. I know a little bit out of the ordinary for me, but today's been a pretty big day. We've got a lot of different things to address. Big thing first, Windows utility. I've spent this week alone doing over 70 pull requests done. So that was an insane amount of pull requests, tons of code review. But we're going to have a huge update. We might do a little bit of work on it tonight, but more from aesthetics point of view and not reviewing people's pull requests. The second thing, Linux Toolbox, really wanted to get going on that. And kind of an announcement, a couple things. First, for the live streams, you may notice we have old YouTube over here. Now, in the past, I did members only, but I found a new feature on YouTube that allows subscriber only, and I can specify how long someone has to be subscribed for. And I made it 30 minutes. So people can't just come in to a stream. They have to sit there for at least 30 minutes before chatting. Hopefully that kind of keeps out the riffraff on the YouTube side of things because they've been problematic. That's why I made it members only in the first place. But subscribers only with a 30-minute timer hopefully fixes the issues we were having. We'll see. Trying something new over there. So that's the first thing. And if you did do like a pull request to Windows Utility, by the way, I was just jamming through them. So if I close your pull request, it's probably because it couldn't be merged or there's conflicts or it just wasn't very good. Either way, don't take offense to it. It's just, hey, wasn't for me. Maybe submit a new one. Try again. You know, that type of thing. Not I was just so just jamming through them. I saw today it was the last stream we had 39 pull requests in the queue and we got it down to like 16 and then I opened it up today and it was back to 40 and I was like, oh, thank you for the contributions, but whoo, that was crazy. That was just so much. So I spent pretty much the whole day. I did all of them. Every bit of the pull requests. We've already gotten 2 more pull requests since I've closed those out an hour ago. All I've done is eaten dinner, and it's great that the project is popular as it is, but yeah, definitely kind of wild going through that much code review. And I wanted to do it because I really wanted to get into some programming. I love seeing other people's programming, but I actually like to program myself, and I really wanted to look at a few things and get some other repos and other stuff and not just do Windows Utility as well. Now, having said all that, I think we should probably address the elephant in the room. It is going to take a lot more of my time to keep a lot of these repos up. And that's probably going to mean less YouTube videos on the main channel. It's definitely going to mean less YouTube videos on the main channel. And I'm okay with that. I think when we have something to go, you might go a month before seeing a video over there. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I do want to keep up with these repos and really focus on making the best utility, specifically Windows Toolbox and Linux Toolbox, and really developing those. And that means I'm just not going to be doing a lot of the YouTuber stuff. And, you know, that kind of sucks because that means less money. But at the end of the day, I really think if we focus on these two things, it can really impact a lot of people in such a positive way. So that's why I want to do it. And I'll live stream most of it, but a lot of it, you know, offline and stuff. Sometimes it's easier just to code without a live stream. So that's going to happen too. It just depends, you know, so you might not see all the development happens, but I'm going to try to live stream a lot of it, and both on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Owen, with the 3 R's. the PRs are good. Like I said, don't apologize for contributing. It sounds like I'm complaining, but it's really a great problem to have. So I just appreciate people going through the code, contributing stuff. Even if the PRs get rejected, don't take it as a sign of me going, oh, I can't believe you submitted a PR to my project. Nah, I appreciate the effort. So that's it. Oh, frick, go back. Oh, what do we have going on here? Let's see. Oh, hey, guys. Charlie, Nightseeker. It's 12:22. I know. I'm sorry I'm streaming so late. But yeah, I couldn't find another time. There's a lot of stuff going on today. I was like, okay, I got to do it. What is going on with this? Oh, frick, go back. What is this? project. OFGB. Has anybody ever heard this? GUI tool to remove ads from various places around Windows 11. What a cool little, that's a cool open source tool. Oh frick, go back. OFGB. Yeah, that's kind of awesome. I got to look at this project. Let's see. I'm not going to blindly add it to the Toolbox. I already have 6,000. Already 6,000 stars. It does not look like a very old project. All it does is remove ads from Windows. Oh my God, I love it. This guy created it May 1st, already to 6,000 stars. That should tell you something. That's kind of insane. That's an awesome project. That shows you just the pinup demand. What is Microsoft doing? What are they doing? Seriously. Like, if you get that much popularity on a project, that's amazing. And we should merge this, by the way. Charlie, thanks for the tier 1, man. Oh, yeah. Here we go. We're going to approve this. Let's push it through. I think that's going to be a welcome change for many folks. Very easy PR to manage. Don't even need to test it. I've looked at applications JSON files so much today. Oh, man. Very, very good. Added syntax highlighting quotes to prevent URLs from being highlighted as well. Oh, this might be interesting. Oh, it's a README change. What do we have? Oh, he's changing it to PS1. I gotcha. Courtesy of issue, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So the backticks to PS1 specifies it's a PowerShell command. So it formats it for PowerShell. But it's actually a good PR. Very cool. We'll do that. Squash and merge. Other things, what we've done too today with the utility, we now have a really good system in place for launching it. Specifically with the different methods of launching. I want to show that real fast. We'll get to some more chat too. As people fill in, this is really neat because we can go christitus.com win IEX. And what this does is the last time I've gone into my project and said, this is verified, this is a good release, we are going forward with this release. That is now the latest release and I mark it as such. That's what gets run with this command. But I have to manually do it. And that's on purpose. It's by design. Because I don't want ever a bad release getting through that wouldn't like launch the toolbox, or maybe I had a syntax error or something, a bad PR slips through. That's why we do latest versions. Also, this is only releases, latest releases, and it has no interaction with raw GitHub. Specifically, India and some places in South America get blocked with raw GitHub user content. Some weird firewall thing for some countries. But this one is just github.com, so we don't have that. And you can see the versioning here is 6.18 is right now the latest version, but we've got something new. If we do an IRM, christitus.com/windev, and then we do an IEX. This is every single PR up to the point we did literally 2 minutes ago. The PR's here. It's already live. So you can see the dev branch, 628, bam. So we'll have a dev branch, basically, or dev release, I should say, and that runs it live. So if you see me do a PR and I merge it right there on the stream and you want to test it out, you just do windev. If you want the latest stable version that's already been tried and true, tested, and personally signed off by me and saying this is the latest, you just do win. I love this. It's so fantastic. Big shout out to Martin. He was the one that kind of came up with this design, and then we implemented it today, and it is such a relief and just a way cleaner things of doing and kind of putting it out there. So if you do want to see whatever was done, you can do it. One other thing that Martin did, I actually want to give him some big kudos here with this dev branch. Look at the launch times. So that was a couple seconds, but if we do, can we do a time? Is that, no, oh shoot, I forgot how to measure the launch times. But here is the dev launch. You can see how fast that is. About, I'd say 3 seconds. And if we do an IRM christime.com win IEX a little bit longer. So there's some optimizations and performance in the latest dev build as well, which is kind of awesome. So I love it. It's exciting times. And, you know, I think I made a tweet today and I was like, hey, I'm going to be dedicating at least 20 more hours a week specifically to GitHub repositories in the form of Windows utility and also the Linux toolbox. So every week, expect 20 hours over the course of a month, probably 80 to 100 hours are going to be put in specifically bringing these GitHub repos up to date, really making sure there's a ton of polish on them and just making it all that much better and run that much better. And a lot of people that have donated, specifically gone to like christitus.com and downloaded and said, hey, here's $10, Titus. I appreciate what you do. Thank you guys, the people in chat, both the YouTube members and then the Twitch members and Twitch subscribers. Hey, that's why I was like, all right, this is awesome. Let's just keep going this route. Let's make these the best programs in the world. And we just need to give it more time. We need more time for it to bake. Get time, is that it? Oh, let's try get time. So let's go get time, do an IRM. I don't know if it can, well, try it. Worst case, it doesn't. Let's see. Do we have an autocomplete? Time zone. No, I forget well, maybe. Nah. Yeah. Daggers. Thanks for tier 3. My God, that is awesome. Nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, all right. Measure command. Oh, that's it, Perry. Okay. I was like, I know it can be done. Measure command. Then in brackets, we can do, yeah, the IRM christitus.com/win IEX, close brackets. And then we have that, close it. So you can see the total time, 5 seconds for 444. So there we go. So we'll do the same command. This time we're going to add dev and close. 3 seconds. And then, so yeah, shaves off a couple seconds. So some really good performance metrics there and improvements, courtesy of Martin, or Meritech is the contributor that really made that possible. He found the piping of the where object and then switched it over to .where when using run spaces, and it was able to optimize it and make things run quite a bit faster. I would say that's a substantial improvement. Oh, really? LTT's also? Oh, I was about to say, is Windows tweaking? They've done some Windows tweaking in the past. They've had some decent videos. Is this going to be in a documentary when we're going to remember this? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is totally going to be there. Well, I think it was Emily that made the last tweaking LTT video. It was actually pretty good. I thought it was pretty well done. Yeah. Anthony and Emily, same person. An option to disable HDCP on graphics cards. Yeah, I really hate the copyright that's kind of tossed into... that gets tossed into HDMI. I cannot confirm nor deny that because I can't really make a video about it because it would get copy striked. But what I can say is look into HDMI splitters on Amazon, specifically the cheap ones. The $30 ones should do the trick. It'll strip out HDCP on pretty much everything. But you didn't hear it from me. But yes, for the low price of about $30, it'll do that. And that's my recommendation. I only do that specifically for my live streams because there's times HDCP interferes with screen captures. And when I'm screen recording something, I don't like that, obviously. So I make sure to strip all that out. Specifically so I can do that. The downside to it is if I ever do show anything like private, like let's say I pulled up like KeePass or something with passwords in it, typically KeePass runs their windows as DRM. So even if you're in a capture software, it'll block the window from being shown. Yeah, not on my stream. It would just show you every password. because all that HTTP gets stripped out. So HTTP can be a good thing for protecting a user from screen recording themselves doing something they shouldn't be doing on like a live stream. But I, again, bypassed all that. So can you demonstrate that? Hopefully not. You stay here long enough, it's probably going to happen. Thanks, anonymous user, for the tier 1 sub that you gifted to Trump's. God bless. Oh my God. Alrighty. Yeah, that's why I stopped. I was like, you got me. You got me. Oh man. And also to kind of overview the Linux utility, kind of what we're going to be working on tonight is mainly going through Linux setup a bit more, kind of testing the LinUtil out is the big thing. This is kind of cool. I think we should have a few people in here. Let's see. We have an updated README toolbox for most Linux distros as featured on this live stream. Clone the, it's pretty good. I am going to change this, but sure, let's just add it. I mean, it's not really ready for prime time yet, but it's no sweat off my back to accept a PR with give some kind of definition of what this thing does. Because right now, not much. All right, so let's do that. We will pull over some workflows from WinUtil, specifically for GitHub that does it. Add support for Gentoo's Portage, Void, XPS, and Nix. I don't know about that. I guess we could. Dang. You know what? If someone wants to submit it, I'll accept it. For Nix and XPS and Emerge, sure. I think that's fine. Fine and dandy. And let's see, Pac-Man. He's changing the sudo command out because some people like to do the do as, so he's also doing that fix as well. And if both those commands don't exist, it will switch user to root and run it as a command. I like that fix, actually. Very clean, very clean. I dig it. And yeah. Now for the bash. Yeah, I don't like this, though. Damn. It's close. The problem with doing the commands like this, well, it might be able to clone. Let's see. Does it? I want to kind of keep the setup scripts in each repository. So if you want to just do that repository, it wouldn't be difficult at all. Yeah, I kind of have the chat off screen right now. So I have it kind of just set over here. I don't know. What do you think? Do we want chat all the time? Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see. Did you install 24H2? Finally, Windows ARM devices get an early Copilot PC. Yeah, so IntraServer, I do all my testing on 24H2 because I figure if it's going to break on something, it'll be the latest release. There's some truth in that story. It's early 5 a.m. stream. Man, you don't sleep. Not this week. Yeah, my daughter's actually been at camp, so we've been waking up really early and driving. I've done like a ton of driving this week, probably about 12 hours in the car. Not fun. Not fun at all. But that's okay. It's okay. He's having fun. Check for updates on Windows if you're running 4 months old. Oh, I don't think I am. Let's check. Let's see what kind of updates we have going on. So just to kind of show our WinVer. Right now we're on 24H2 build 26100. Let's see. Do we have... Oh, I hate to update this thing. Anytime you're on the bleeding edge, you're just... Any kind of update's just a terrible one. I'd laugh if it said I'm up to date. Something's telling me that's not going to be the case. You're on 26100 1000. What did I say I was? 268. So we got some updates. Yeah, here we go. Gross. Don't ever do an insider build. Don't be like me. Every time I do this, it hurts my soul. Running Windows updates every week is for an insane person. That's all I have to say about that. You just don't like yourself if you run Windows updates every week. Especially if you're an insider build, you really hate yourself if you're on the insider program. Real talk. Yeah, go LTSC. Yeah, if you can, I highly recommend LTSC. It's a good, good in between for sure. Yeah, once 25H2 hits, I'll probably update it as well. I'm not switching from the insider build. I'll have to reload everything. It'd be awful. But yeah, such is life. I like how people are focused on one objective, which is very unlike the Linux community. But what will this utility do for Linux? Sorry in advance. No worries. The utility is meant to help you set up and remove as much friction from setting up and adopting Linux. So whether it's, hey, you have a cool bash program, whether it's NeoVim setup, or things that you watch a video in the past from me, this script will help you on. So that's kind of the thought process behind it. The big thing here, I do want to kind of revisit this addition to LinUtil. I really want to fix it. I really like most of the commits here. Just this right here, obviously discard. And taking this and adding it to the setup repo, which would be this one right here. I feel like that's a good way to do it. Let's go over to Mybash. Let's just do this. So if we look at that again, let's just view the file. And I like the entire setup script for the most part. I don't really see anything bad about it. So I think what we're going to do is just copy it. wget. Oops. Did I not grab the raw? Oh, it copied the entire contents of the raw file. Oopsies. Let's try that again. So now we'll have this in setup.sh. So chmod setup bash. And let's just remove setup.sh. And then let's move setup.bash to setup.sh. Might have been a cleaner way of doing this, but what we can do now is kind of check what we have. So the big changes here, you can see, this all got removed. Ooh, it's so close. So we have that. And then all this installed dependencies. See, darn it. There's a way better way of doing this. I'm doing it all wrong. I'm off the rails. I'm gonna just make everybody cringe in chat. That's okay. Wouldn't be the first nor the last time that happened. Let's just open our projects. Come back into LinUtil. Actually, Mybash is where we're going. We're gonna come up top, add all that in. Now let's go. Let's check in on chat real fast, see if I miss anything. I don't know. I feel like you're going to use 25H2 today. I don't think I'm the insider. I'm not on Canary. I think I'm one step behind Canary. We'll check it, though, after this. You don't want to update your OS scripts. That's why you want to make LinUtil, pretty much. So we have that. So this looks good. This looks good. So then we just take most of this sudo command. And what we're going to do now is take this case, copy it. I know. There's a better way of doing this. I'm sure of it. However, here we are. This sudo command is jank. What are we doing with jpico as well? I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. That was kind of an odd suggestion. It's like he kind of bowed out of this halfway through. That's okay, though. So you have sudo. I mean, honestly, we could just do an H. Let's go there, 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 and there. All right. And I don't think we have any other sudos that are sticking out to me. I really like the code. I really like what this guy did. So I hate to cannibalize his PR like this and add it to a different repo, but that's what I'm going to do. So I apologize ahead to this person. They're going to be pissed when I close their PR. But it was a very good PR. I will let him know why it was denied and where his code went, because I did steal quite a bit of code here. Good code, and I really like the logic in adding like the sudo command. That's going to fix some problems for some users that use do as instead of sudo, which more distros are shipping do as instead of the sudo command in 2024. And going forward, it's only going to be more prevalent, I'd say, because sudo's had a lot of CVEs and such, where do as I don't think has had as many. So it's probably a little more secure. Well, man, there are the people that don't do as or sudo. They're crazy, but they do exist. All right. Now, if we look at this, this looks much, much better. Now, I was looking at that. Was there a, I'm going to look for Pico real fast just to double check this. Do we have Pico? No. That was an old legacy command that got 86 a while back, because I don't use the Pico editor. Run 0. We could add it. We could do it. Again, universal is what we want. I didn't get the difference between sudo and do as. There's very little. Intra-server, I tell you, there's very little difference between the two. Be a man, run everything as root. Oh, don't tempt me. I like it. Commit, push. Really liked that one. Oh, I guess I gotta give him props here. So I'm gonna tell him what I did with it. Really like the PR. I love this PR, but I gotta kick it to the curb. I gotta tell him why. Love the PR, but let's see. But I had to move this to the Mybash project and change the code a bit. I put it in this commit, and then we're gonna close with comment. So, it didn't, because it's a different repo. That sucks. I thought GitHub would go ahead and translate the commit hash if it's on a different repo. Apparently not. Darn. There might be a way to cross-reference that, but no, I don't know. It's kind of wild. The submitter, am I a joke to you? Took the code and denies it. I know, I'm sorry. I know it's terrible, but I was like, it's good code. It was really good code. It was just like in the wrong repository, because LinUtil is like a shell that launches into other repositories like the Linux setup. Or if you're doing bash modifications, it launches into Mybash and then runs the setup script there. I'm setting all these repos up to be compatible with the Linux utility, and they all stand independently of the Linux utility as well. So we can have our cake and eat it too, so to speak, because we have all that. So I love the contribution to the Linux utility. It was just not made on the right repo, because that should have been done directly on Mybash, because that script gets run every time and it sets everything up in its own directory. It's going to be, this is a crazy thing. This is going to be the wildest thing that I'm going to say tonight for Linux people. It has a standardization and a form to follow. And I know that's weird. I know that's strange for Linux folks, but we're going to make it very standardized, and it's going to be uniform to where all the projects that get added to Linux utility are going to look like a bash script. And the very first part of that bash script is always going to be setting up the same subdirectory, and then the sub component of it with it, whether it's Mybash or a Linux setup, it's always going to be in the same thing. So if you get used to how it's structured and when you're running setups, it will always be there. It will always have the same location. You never have to worry about it changing. It's a wild, wild idea, but we're making it happen. If you run it as sudo .bashrc, only works for root. Oh, that's true. That's true. If you don't have that. Intra-server, thanks for the 5. Can you do a video tutorial or stream on how to use Xcopy or make Windows backups using command line and Windows terminal? I don't think I would use Xcopy for that. I've always used, probably RoboForm's good enough these days. You can do threading with it. So RoboForm, I've actually had a video specifically for that here. Let me shoot it over to you, because we have some, actually, I think YouTube. We can probably just look it up and shoot it to you. So if you are doing a bunch of robocopy, I'm sure I've done a video on it in the past. Ah, look at that. How to copy large amounts of files. So a lot of people, how long ago was this? 2 years ago. But here you are, good sir. Enter server, video already made just for you. And Twitch chat in case somebody else wants that. Can you test Super Maven and compare with Cursor and see which one's better? I need to. I really need to. I've heard great things about Super Maven. And it's something that I've been meaning to test. Right now, Cursor's working pretty darn good for me. Yeah, and honestly, if you're doing I've done a huge transfer in a data center, I think it was like a petabyte of information. And this would have been almost 10 years ago, so take this with a grain of salt. It might have changed. If there's any storage engineers, let me know if I'm incorrect here. But there was a program called EMCopy. It was by EMC, which is a really big player in the storage space, or at least it used to be. Like I said, this is pretty dated, but EMCopy used to be even better. Do they still have this? Oh, they don't even give it out anymore. Man, Dell, blinding people, keeping those sysadmins awake at night. EMC's Dell. When did that happen? Damn, I'm so far behind. Maybe it's always been Dell. I feel like I'm part of that meme with the astronaut. It's always has been. Probably. I haven't paid much attention. Anyways, yeah, I've used that tool in the past when doing massive migrations. Dell made it. Okay. Yeah, it's in the text. Okay. There we go. Yeah, but I have used that to transfer a huge amount of files before as well. But like if you're only doing like a couple terabytes or something like that, just use RoboCopy is going to get you. It has hyper-threading and it does a pretty decent good job of getting you from A to B on a large file copy. So like edit a fork, customize a thing in some kind of URL, add to LinUtils. Yeah, let's break down how this works specifically on LinUtils. This is actually a great mention. What was it from Simon Jackson? I want to edit a fork, add some kind of URL to add to LinUtils. So this is kind of where it's at. So we have, let me pull up LinUtil. Let's push this to, gross. Oh, here we go. Let's just restart now, whatever. Yeah, let's quit that. We'll let that go in the background. Let's let that cook. Let's come into LinUtil. Let's pull down any kind of changes we have. So how LinUtil is structured right now, Vim, it's a Rust program that uses Ratatat or Ratatouille for the UI-driven system. So if you go LinUtil, which we can go LinUtil, it launches into this. And when you click on either like setup bash prompt or setup NeoVim, like let's just click bash prompt, it'll go through and say, hey, we're going to go ahead and update your system. Sure. Probably shouldn't do this in this program. It's going to do 3. Did I just break it? Uh-oh. Well, anywho, it'll run that command and it's going to update and then install the programs needed for this in a perfect world. However, you probably shouldn't have done this inside of it without testing first. Oh, well, I guess we're testing live. Yeah, that's rough. It's not good. I guess we're going to just force quit. Yeah, let's just paru SYU real fast and see what we have. Oh, I guess it didn't grab it, so I think, well, it's Arch. We're just going to do a massive upgrade right on stream. And then we'll rerun that setup bash just to make sure. Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, favorite kind of testing, live. Let's do it live. But the idea behind it is it should set up bash and everything, but it runs the setup.sh bash script from Mybash's repo. So it's actually using 2 GitHub repos. The first one, LinUtil, is just using that one binary file called LinUtil. And that's just a compiled Rust program. That's the shell wrapper that launches into separate bash programs to set up and do what you want it to do. So whether it's setting up your system for gaming, setting up your system for just basic build environments, setting up your system to do, a fancy bash prompt, whatever it might be, there's a certain repo for that. We're making specific bash scripts that are referenced through this Rust utility. Now you might be thinking, why not just reference that using like Whiptail or something like that? That's a little more proven that most people would use. And the answer is hilarious. It's one, I wanted to be different. Two, Whiptail looks ugly as sin with that red highlighting and the gray background. It just looks like something from the 90s. And I wanted something a little cooler to do that. Is this better? The structure in theory is great. Using Rust shell for it, I don't know. I guess we're going to just try and see. If it breaks, it breaks. Massive Arch update, like playing Russian roulette. Yeah. Learn Rust. Yeah. Well, we did a whole Rust stream where I think I'm like 2 days in. So we'll learn some Rust for sure along the way. Which terminal do you use for your window manager? Kitty is what I like to use. So we'll let this go in the background. Let that cook along with our 25H2 update in Windows. Started using Winget UI and I'm loving it. Yeah, Winget UI is a solid project. I love it. How's the Arch install going? The script. Oh, yeah, I need to revisit Arch Titus as well. That's one big thing. Right now I'm working on like DWM Titus setup. That'll set up my DWM configuration you see here on my stream on Debian-based distributions and Arch-based distributions, I think is what I'm starting out with. And we might revisit Arch Titus once we get further in the script for sure. Did you see all the AI edits of old memes? Oh, yeah. I saw the one where the guy's looking back, and then all of a sudden he starts walking and then he turns into a total rickroll. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. It's really neat. Look at that. AI is finally good for something, guys. AI is now a meme video making machine, and it's fantastic at it. Who would have thunk it? AI is actually not worthless after all. I know. A lot of people are hyping AI out to be the destroyer of developers. But I think I've proven on my stream time and time again that is not the case. And if your job gets taken by AI as a developer, I don't know. I'd be curious to see those stories. I think I did run into one where it was like a web developer and they trained AI using his templates and then he got fired and AI stole his job. And I felt for that guy. That was pretty rough. So there are some things, but AI kind of does a crappy job. It's like very rudimentary. And I just, parts of me are just like, I don't know. I've probably done that rant a ton, so I'm not going to do it anymore. It's just, I'm very skeptical of AI's capabilities. I've just seen too many AI bros make something out of nothing where I'm like, I don't know about that, man. That seems a bridge too far. As soon as I can do it, then I'm like, okay, I'm on board. At this point, AI is just a tool. Yeah, I think so. I think it's great for education, Salty. I think AI is fantastic. That's probably the biggest thing, too, that I've noticed. AI is great at like expanding out code and explaining it to me in a way that I can understand it. I think it's great for adding documentation to code. I've rarely seen it make a mistake in that regard. So I think AI is great. Could be a fantastic teacher and great for education and expanding skills. Chris, isn't what you're building here a distro or the seeds of one? So what it is kind of a one-size-fits-all tool where it really, like, distribution never has really mattered in Linux. It just doesn't. You either know the tools you want to use in Linux or you don't. And sometimes like distributions will be closer to where you need to be. So it might take less work with one distribution compared to another, but the end result's always the same. It doesn't matter. Like, so many people get confused when they watch me because they're like, are you on Debian now? Are you on Arch now? Are you still on Bazite? Are you still over here? And I'm like, I almost feel like not telling them because it's always like, it really doesn't matter. It's always the same. And it's because I use the same tools. And at the end of the day, I can install everything I install on one on the other. And it very rarely. But having said that, I am on Arch. And I have to say it because, by the way, I use Arch. And that's just mandatory whenever you install Arch. You got to tell people you use Arch. But tomorrow I might be on Debian and you won't know. Because Debian has no rules in that regard. Arch is the only one that has that rule. Oh, and Slackware, and probably Gentoo as well. Gentoo is definitely there. Although Gentoo's got the binary packages now, so times are changing for Gentoo users. What about Nix? Nix is neat. I really love it for like an all-in-one kind of thing. Yeah, so the idea with this tool is it really doesn't matter. It's not really a distro. It just will set up everything for you, no matter what you install. So let's say you're familiar with like Ubuntu or Debian, just use that. I don't care. It's just a package manager to me, and it'll still work on all that. And if you're an Arch user and you're like, hey, I love the AUR, I love just downloading all this bleeding edge stuff, and I like to be on the latest packages, maybe you're like a web dev or something like that. Cool. It'll work on that too. That's the idea behind it. Because there are purposes to some distributions, like rolling and stable releases, and it just depends on the user and what they want. But to me, at the end of the day, I really don't care. How much harder is installing Gentoo than Arch? It's just more time consuming. I wouldn't call it harder because typically you have to always build the kernel. So that's going to take you, depending on your system, if you have like a potato, that's going to suck. But if you have a really fast machine, it'll be like 5-10 minutes. It won't be that bad. But then again, this is a Xeon processor, a bit on the overkill side for that. So we could do a Gentoo install about the same speed as almost an Arch. Not quite though. Gentoo's just still a bit slow on that side of things. YouTube's buffering really bad. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, YouTube's been hit and miss on the live streams lately. I think pretty soon I might change my encoding to like AV1. I think that might help a little bit on some of that initial encoding, but it just depends. Is the Rust ARM 64 or AMD 64? AMD 64, Simon. The new ARM chips have been kind of disappointing. Has anybody seen that? Seen the news on the ARM? It's kind of rough. I really was hoping for something a little bit more with the new ARM laptops. It's like, ooh, this could be it, because ARM works really well on Linux. Windows, it's always an afterthought. But I was like, man, these new Windows ARM machines, we could probably load Linux on and it'd be amazing. Except they spent more than half their budget marketing like the neural processing unit, NPU, and making Microsoft recall. So the chips themselves kind of suck. No, they don't kind of suck. They really do suck. That's depressing. I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news there, but yeah, they're slower than the M1 chips that came out 4 years ago. How'd that happen? The answer is they spent all their money on marketing. They hyped it up and made us all believe, this is the year. This is the year we get a good ARM processor for both Linux and Windows. Take that, Mac users. And then they just completely crap all that away and just decide, hey, here's Microsoft Recall. We're going to add a neural processing unit so we can do some AI bro crap on you. Jam that in there. Go Intel powered with AI. Well, their sales probably were pretty decent this month until all the YouTubers just completely crap over every single ARM chip and laptop that comes out. It's only a matter of time before they all release their videos just shitting on all of them because they're all crap. So, yeah, Sal, thanks for the Prime. Yeah, their main focus was the AI hype BS. I guess. It's going to be AI, blockchain, cloud amazingness is what they should have just plastered all over it. I swear, most people in Silicon Valley probably don't even know anything about tech anymore. It's just run by marketing schlubs. The truly gifted people have probably moved on. Or they're stuck somewhere going, oh my God, I got to take orders from this jackass that just graduated with like an MBA or something that doesn't know anything. So that's probably the more of the truth of it. There's probably some really gifted engineers at all these big companies, but they're completely hamstringed by upper management that's just sitting there riding the coattails of every single trend. Anyways, yeah, sorry. Derailing. I always think of that. I think it was Steve Jobs that said it, you know, it's like, hey, all these companies, like when Xerox basically crapped away all the modern computing because they were the ones that like make the modern GUI that we use today, both Windows and Mac. And they just crapped it all down because all of their main higher ups were all marketing guys and they didn't know anything. And that's when Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and basically everybody just kind of pillaged Xerox or Park Center and stole all their great ideas because they weren't using them. I mean, that's kind of amazing, and it's neat. Oh, thanks for the Prime. And Terry. 25H2. Let's check on it. We can check on 25H2. Let's see. Yeah, we're good here. Let's launch Windows. Oh, we're still updating Windows. I think we are going to 25H2. That's a long update. Well, in the background, Arch is also updated. So we got that going for us. Ruck's doing really well, man. I have finished Ruck's all 70-something PRs this week in Windows Utility. That feels so good. We've made so much progress in Windows Utility this week. Oh, so much. I was like, all right, we got to do a Friday stream and make some progress in Linux, the Linux toolbox now. Are you compiling the Windows? You know, what do we have? What are we rocking here? We're only stretching the leg. The processor's only going like 8%, so we're not even barely even scratching the surface here. Let's go. We're getting close though. Bubba, thanks for the bits. I use AdBlock on YouTube, so I wanted to drop by and drop some bits. I appreciate it. Thanks for the entertainment and the educational videos. Good to hear, man. I'm glad people are liking the streams because I love doing the streams. And I think, man, I'm just looking forward to what we can make. We have so many pull requests here too, by the way. Let's work through some of these bash pull requests while we wait for the update. Read. Okay. 650. Oh, my word. Okay, yeah. That's a nuke the world commit. Close. Next. All right. Fix interactive shell. ICE WM throws an error. Oh, yeesh. Yeah, this one's at least a little bit more. He's doing rip grep. For those options, RG, I like that. That's actually a little bit better than mine. If shell has interactive, I also like that. Specifically like TTY and things like that, I could see that being problematic. Putting those in quotes for when you pass a variable, super important. If there's any spaces, it would error out with my version. He fixes that. We have if command exists requirements, if requirements in requirements. Do. Okay. So he's just specifying, hey, if that actually exists, rec. Well, that's kind of interesting. It's a for loop for each requirement it's being passed. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Change package handler. You added Nala. Nice. Yeah, I need to reinstall Nala on Debian install I have now that I'm thinking about it. Doing red and RC. Okay. Good. I like this PR actually. Very easy to read. Check on members of pseudo group. Okay. Dependency. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, this looks really good actually. Just a couple changes I'm gonna make to fix this up. Specifically like additional dependencies. Man, there's a bit to change, but I really like his bash RC stuff. The setup too, I do like a lot of that. Let's pull this in and change it. Is it normal when I use your Windows utility? Some settings on my PC are blocked because some settings are managed by your organization. Yeah, XV. Specifically, Edge likes to do this because there's a lot of telemetry built into Edge for them reporting. I block all those settings, and usually when those settings get blocked, specifically the reporting settings, in Edge, they actually lock it down a little bit. I've thought about a bunch of different ways to kind of work around that. And other than just tell people don't use Edge. But yeah, I'll figure something out. I'll figure out something for that. You can just delete the Edge policy, anything from Edge policy in your registry, and that should fix it. All right, let's resolve these conflicts. Let's see what we have. Alrighty. Oh man, we're gonna do this manually. I know, living on the wild side. Let's see if I screw this up. Let's see if chat catches me screwing this up. Definitely could happen. I actually think this is pretty good. Now, packager. I think I can go packager install. And if I'm looking at this correctly, I feel like this is actually all wrong. Because if we look, the sudo packager should happen. We're going to fix this too. Oh my God. This is awful. I know I'm doing it wrong, but this is going to turn into a massive PR. One that I'm not even doing. I'm just taking this guy's PR. I'm like, oh wait, that's wrong. Let me fix that too while we're here. It's fine. All right. Let's do, yeah. We're going to just kill that. It's fine. Just a few conflicts. Mark is resolved. Commit. I understand. Might be missing an F. All right, let's see. Let's see. Before we get too far in the weeds here on Mybash, one thing we need to do as well, we need unit tests badly. We need unit tests really badly, because inevitably I will do something like this and commit it to someone's PR, and they're going to be like, what are you doing, Titus? You missed like an entire if statement. It's probably because I was just like, I'll just mark it up real fast in the browser without any kind of syntax correction, and then just go ship, shipped it. And we probably should do some type of release system like we do on WinUtil. Yeah, I think we set that up. I think setting up something like a really good foundation would be great. Is Chris into network programming as well? What do you mean network programming? Specify. I would say I am the jack of all trades, master of none. Meaning, if you tell me to do something, I probably can get it done. It's not going to be the prettiest code, though. It's probably going to look awful, and most devs are probably going to go, God bless, who wrote this? But it probably will run, and it probably will do the thing you want it to do. Just saying, at the end of the day, I'm more of a practical kind of guy. And then what I absolutely love about open source software and doing this live on streams is I have all you to correct my terrible code. So as I'm just pounding around doing it, you're like, oh, that's awful. But there's one thing developers have, and I so take advantage of these developers. Most of them have OCD, and when they see something that I'm doing that's completely wrong, there's something inside of them that goes, I have to fix this. I'm not going to sleep well tonight unless I submit a PR to fix this. And I appreciate you. I appreciate that. And it does make me a better coder at the end of the day. A lot of times when I just hack together something, that one person sits that down, sends it over to me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's how you do that. I knew I was doing it wrong, but it kind of got it done. But I always knew there was a better way. Usually you see that like with my nested if statements, and that should have been like a switch statement, that type of basic programming logic. Yeah, that's me. Chris, Titus is a no fear guy. I wouldn't say that. I fear plenty. It's just I do it in spite of. I'm just like, let's just ship it. Let's see what happens. Because at the end result will make me learn something. I find the learning something so much more important than looking like a fool. I'd rather look like a fool and learn something new than pretend like I know everything and be like afraid to do anything. I hate that. Like I've fought my whole career against that because there's nothing more aggravating than running into like another IT department. Let's say I had to collaborate with somebody else. And then I'm like, hey, we need to establish a VPN to this network and do this thing. Can you go ahead and set up like an endpoint for me? And then they'd be like, oh, well, we can't do that because of this and this. And they're like the master of excuses. And I'm like, dude, I'm not your boss. I'm not an idiot. Just go do the thing. It's fine. just set it up like this. And then, inevitably, sometimes I have to just send them everything they need to do and go, here is a step-by-step guide I need you to do. Just do it and we'll get this done. And then you can take credit for it. I don't care. I just want to get to the finish line. And that happens a lot in IT where people are just so afraid to break anything that they won't touch anything. And that is awful. I'm like, all right, let's go. And I understand. I'm not telling you to do a sudo apt update everything all the time. That's obviously not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying when trying to institute certain new things, keep an open mind. Set it up in a test environment first, test it, have something to go to where you can learn new things in your job and then implement it. That's all I'm saying. And some people are just like, I'd rather just make excuses for everything and not do a thing. Believe it or not, that's like half of all IT departments I've had to deal with. And that's always aggravating. Sorry for that rant. Anyways, how are we doing on this? Oh, look, Windows is back. What version are we on now? 24H2 961. I'm sure something broke, but I don't feel like looking at that tonight, so we're just going to shut that down. All right, cool. And this one, we also have updated our Arch. We'll do a reboot after we get this PR done. What else do we have? I don't have OCD. I'm closer to a sysadmin's DevOps than a developer, but I have to write code in a very specific way. Otherwise, it bothers me. That's the telltale sign of a good developer, though, or an aspiring good developer. One that has to write them, but you're able to see and adapt to your environment. I think that's great. It's a great quality. Remember, learning never stops. That's true. That's very true. I think as soon as you stop learning, you're at the end of your career. As soon as you're like, hey, I know enough, well, you better be retiring within the next, I'd say 3 to 5 years. Because there's going to be someone that comes along, and if you don't do anything and you're just sitting there on your laurels and go, I know enough, there's going to be someone out there that's going to be better than you in no time. It's just how fast the whole technology realm, whether you're a developer, whether you're in DevOps or just doing straight up infrastructure or sysadmin work, it just does not take long at all before your knowledge becomes obsolete and nobody really, you just become forgotten and useless. And you become actually more of a hindrance than a help. I've met people like that, really intelligent people, but they just stopped learning. And then they became more of a burden or a dead body I had to lug around than actually helping, even though they're really intelligent. And that sucks. So always keep learning. Never stop. At least that's what I try and tell myself. Learning fun. It's just fun too. Can't stop, won't stop. COBOL is the exception. Yeah, Dojo, we probably should make an exception to those COBOL devs out there. You keep the nuclear silos operational. I'm pretty sure our nuclear program still has COBOL systems in place that never been updated. Assembly devs too, yes. So few are left in the world. There are exceptions to the rule. Those guys are the exceptions. I concede the point. All right, let's go. Let's see what we got. All right, we have this. Now, what do we want to do? Unit testing for bash scripts is what we want to do. Let's start that. What do we have on our Git? Oh, funding. Well, all right, Chris. That's fantastic. All right, Mybash. Let's get in here. We have Mybash. Let's go. New folder workflows. See if I can't just wing it. What do you call them? Just like bash test dot YAML. I feel like that's wrong, but let's go. Write a unit test for GitHub Actions that checks the syntax of bash files in my project. Go AI, make my program for me. Yes, bash lint. Lint it. Lint everything. You use a linter like shell check. I like shell check. Below is a hit. All right. Lint all .sh files in your directory. Perfect. Setup.sh is the one I need. All right. Fantastic. All right. Put that in there for me. Yes, I like it. Odds this worked. What do we got? What's the over under here, chat? What do you think? We'll see. I think we're good. Let's push it. Shell check it. It will do something. 0%, Sal says. All right. I heard Claude 3.5 surpassed GPT. Maybe. Right now, I think we're using Gippity 4.0. 4.0? What are we using? We are using Gippity 4.0. All right, let's give it a whirl here. Unit test it. Let's go GitHub desktop. Did I ever fix this? I feel like I didn't fix my authentication. Let's see. I did. Okay, good. Nice. So in a perfect world, we would now have a GitHub action. Oh, damn. This is going to be a good night if this actually works. Lint bash scripts dot shell check. Line 20. Exit code if not directly. Okay. So we got some errors here. Let's look at setup script. Do we have shell check? Yeah, it's auto detecting. I don't see any errors though. Let's fetch. Let's switch this to shell check just to see. I don't think the linter is working. The current one. Do we have shell check? I don't know. I never really lint in VS Code with this. Let's try shell check. Oh, there's shell check. 1.1 million. A linter for shell scripts. I like it. Shell checks for selection. Okay, yeah, whatever. Let's come back now. Let's go shell check. Shell check RC. What am I doing wrong here? Shell check. Okay, here we go. Nice. Okay. So use cd ... or exit in case cd fails. How do I resolve this? Okay. So all it's doing is saying cd or exit. I like it. Great. What else do we have? Check exit code. This AI fix. You can directly check the exit status of git clone command within the if statement. Here's an updated code. So if git clone that of Mybash, then successfully clone repository. But why wouldn't you wait for the return of the git clone? Is this just a warning? Yeah, this is an indirect check with the colon question mark. It's not necessarily wrong. I like this way better. AI, I don't like your way. Yeah. Like looking at that, check that, but it's not really spitting out any error. So, on shell check, only fail when errors are encountered. Okay. So let's apply that. So instead of doing that, we're going to grep error and then put that to shell log if then equal exit 1. Let's accept that. Close. That feels right because when we look back at our unit test, you can see check exit code. I don't see. With shell check, it might actually let's screw up the thing and actually add something that would just completely screw up everything. That way we can see what the error will actually be. That's why I break things to see how to fix it. Let's break it. So let's come back to setup. Let's just take fine to F. So what does this look like? Let's submit this. Let's see it like break. So right here, what does this look like? I wonder what the output console of that looks like. Sometimes I don't like IDEs. You know if it works the first time you coded it wrong. Pretty much. I think what we're going to do. All right, let's just do FI is fine. Let's submit this first. Then let's break it. Because I don't think this is correct. That's fine. Fix and fix exit on CD. Exit on CD failure. And unit test. Push. All right. So now we have that. Let's come back to here. And this time around, let's go to our action summary. We should see this linting happening now live. This was 7 minutes ago. Let's come back into our Oh, it says it's done. Do we have an output log? Note, double quote, double quote. Okay, note. I think this actually might work. All right, let's break the link. Now, let's screw it all up. F's in chat for the broken if statement. Here we go. Me break things. Push. All right, let's break the bash script real fast. Come back into it. And now we should see a big old red X. And then we'll say unit test works. We'll see. Yes. Ha ha ha. Beautiful. Let's see what it shows. Unit test complete. I like it. It has been 0 days since shenanigans. Right, Trevor. Absolutely right. Ah, I love it. All right, well, let's fix it. Me fix broken thing. Yes. Me fix broken thing. Ah, yes. Me and my caveman brain. Look at me making progress. All right, we have our bash lint done. Now we see green check mark. Can you see my PR on my bash? All right, let's check it out, Sal. All right, we got our PR done. So then when I do something stupid, we can know that I did something stupid and I won't just continually pounding around. And I'll probably get like an email spam going, hey, this is broken. Fix it. Let's go to, where was I fixing that? Oh, damn, did I close that window? Don't tell me I did I? Oh, unfortunate. Wait, no. I committed it. All right, let's go back. Yes. Perfect. So now, perfection. Love it, love it, love it. That looks so good. Now I can go ham on my browser editing. Not even using an IDE like a caveman's meant to do. Makes me happy. Just coding without any kind of syntax correction at all and just throwing it at the wall. I just want the wall to give me a big red X when I do it wrong. That's all I'm asking. Doesn't have to be like this minute or anything. Just let me know in like a couple minutes. Go, hey, you screwed that up. That's all I want. And that looks great. Now, did this unit test? Usually there's a unit test on there, but I guess we're just going to rock that. All right, let's check Sal's PR real fast. Where you at? What's your, oh, there we go. Update SH. Add a warning if user is not, oh, that's a good one. Oh, your branch is out of date. Workflow requires approval from maintainer. Why? I think it'll be fine. Anywho, now we get the check. I always want these checks passed, so whenever someone sends me a bad PR that has bad syntax errors, it'll let me know. Sal, just go ahead and update that PR for me. I think all these PRs are going to be kind of old and kind of rough. Let's see. All repositories fonts. That's not in anything. Let's close this one. That's not in all distros. That's not going to work. Fuzzy history and completion search adding. Probably don't want to do this. Maybe. Prompt command history -A. Maybe. Oh no, he's getting rid of that. Proper true color support for terminal. It's not a bad idea, actually. Fuzzy find bash completion. Bind -X tab. It's actually not a bad idea. Because we tried ATUIN. Didn't really like it. Wasn't bad. Search through history using HSTR, using Control R. That might be interesting, actually. And then the bash completion script. Oh, I thought you were going to pull that from somewhere else. I was wrong. Yeah. I was wrong on that one. I do want to pull in stream chat. Let's see. I wanted to fix stream chat out too. But there's no opacity to that. Because I think when I did it before... One second, I'm going rogue. I'm going rogue here. 1 second. Oh, no. I'm going to fix it, though. Contrast. Nope. Not allowing me. Darn it. Yeah, it seems like OBS's new update kind of messed me up. 1 second here. I'm going to fix this thing. Because there's something I'm using. While we're sitting here, I want to get stream chat back up. This stream's going to be a hot mess. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, I apologize. This is a Friday night stream. It's going to go long. just buckle up. There's going to be a bunch of weird stuff in here. All right, so streamer bot, background chat. Let's see. I think I can change streamer bot to do that. Chat. Where's chat at? Says a guy who uses a Mac. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna fix it. Because if I don't fix it now, it's just never gonna get fixed. I only approach this stuff on the stream. I know, I'm terrible. I am just terrible. Let's see. There has to be settings, user interface, then triggers. Okay, yeah. General file trust. Nope. Ah, dang. Well, that's not what I need. Just leave the commit to do fix. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Let's go quick actions. Oh, I like this. Now we're so close. I have to go to sleep. I know. I'm putting everybody to sleep. All right. Oh, bummer. I was just looking at this and I was like, I want to fix this just so we have it for next stream. I'll have to look at it after because I just can't find a way to change that one setting. Would have been great. But alas, I'll leave it up there though. I don't think there should be very much I'm looking at in the top right hand corner. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be just fine. Although, we might have something here. Oh, there we go. That might work. Oh, well, so close. So close to working. Although, we do that. Nope. I give up. So be it. You get no opacity. I'm done. We've hit the 5-minute threshold. We have to move on. It's always the last change that screws everything up. That's true. I know. I love it though. All right. Okay, for the setup here, let's look through this fuzzy finding history. This is just kind of a wild. Oh, geez, there's just so much I gotta fix. I just don't feel like this one's it. There's some cool stuff in this PR, but the rest of the PR, there's just a little too much going on. Like I do like the term set 256 color. I think that's good. It's just I've added too much to the script for it to be. I'll be sitting here with conflicts for days and days. Let's just keep going. Yeah, all right, cool. Let's go. Files changed. Okay, well that actually is a pretty easy one. Fixed sorting of NLS aliases. All right, I like it. Approve. Merge. All right, moving on. This is what it's going to be. Lots of code review, but once we get it done, it'll be really nice. This is how it looks. Oh, okay. What do we got? What are we doing? Schema, JSON schema. We're adding a config file for FastFetch, it looks like. I kind of like it. I feel like this is a better generation of FastFetch than the one obviously I'm using. Mine's just too specialized, and I really want more people to kind of do their own thing. So I feel like this is probably a good in-between of the config JSON. Similar to mine, but it made modifications that make more sense. And I feel like that's a pretty good. Let's compare. Well, let's compare. Oh, well, let me get over here. All right, clear. FastFetch. All right, well, let's just come on over one more time. There we go. I do kind of like when we look at this one. It's close. I'm trying to think what I'm missing here. I like these. Goes the CPU, the GPU, model of the computer, current resolution, which I like. It doesn't show on mine. RAM usage, current software information, which is the distro, current version of the kernel, window manager, and bash prompt. His says bash. That looks like GNOME terminal to me. So I wish that said GNOME terminal, but maybe GNOME terminal just looks a little different. I do like the uptime age as well on this FastFetch. So the one other thing I'm going to add here, let's just change it. Just change it on the fly as always. FastFetch. Now vim config. Now let's go down to OS. Uptime age. Perfect. So this right here is what I kind of want. So we have a custom, and if we look at his, yeah, so he already has this right there. I just kind of want to expand it. Although I kind of want to change, yeah, maybe something like this. So then if we look, he doesn't do any breaks. So right before the bash, what we're going to do is just grab all of this, yank it. Then we're going to come into here. We're going to just commit it direct. And here's his config. Let's edit. Come down. Here's the custom end. So then what we do, toss our custom uptime agent with OS agent uptime. I just like this. Call me crazy. I just really like that section of it. I really do like the addition he's done. And what we're going to do to kind of keep the formatting alive here, let's match it. I know this seems ridiculous, but I'm kind of ridiculous sometimes. Now we're going to go U001B, and we're going to go bracket 1M. Then this one is going to go there. Paste that in. I like it. All right, great. That's so silly, but I'm just a silly guy sometimes. All right, let's commit that. Then we're going to just we're going to just kind of mesh them together, and then should be fine. I don't have anything to check JSON C, so we're going to just have to believe I did that right and recheck. Yeah, it needs uptime and OSH. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Appreciate that, Mag. Yeah, we removed the 90M. Should be good. Should be good. All right. So we'll submit this. Add custom FastFetch config. Oh no, there's another pull request in WinUtil. Dude, I've done over 70 pull requests in Windows Utilities this week. It's like, I just need a break. I need a break. Today's been a long day. I have merged so many Windows Utilities pull requests. It's been insane. Truly, truly insane. All right. Let's see if I fix this or not. Let's go Z Mybash. We're going to pull down our changes. Let's go setup. Oh, dang. I guess I was missing some dependencies. Have I never done the setup on this? Apparently not. Damn. All right. Great. I fat fingered something. I broke it. I broke it. Damn. Why? Where did I break it? Alrighty. Tell me what I broke. Key. Type custom. Type custom. Yeah, let's just, yeah, that's fine. Kind of clear that up a little bit. I feel like that's just a little bit too much. Oops. Whatever. Something like that should be about right. Ask Jippity to fix it. Oh yeah. Let's ask Jippity. Let's go. What syntax error did I make in this JSON C file? Okay. It says it found something. What did it find? So there's this it found. Okay, we just had a blank space at the end. I guess it didn't like my bracket there. Color is the JSON C file tab specific? Maybe. All right, let's commit this back. Just use my FastFetch config. Nah, kind of want to make our own, man. It's the whole point. The whole point. Make something unique, new, awesome. All right. So with that fixed, let's go set up. All right, let's try it again. Why is it still installing that? Anyways, shit. It's still broken. What did I do? Yeah? Yeah. Oh, okay. 1 second, guys. I'll be back. Woo, doggy. All right, well. Oh, man. All right. Sorry, we got my bathroom's getting renovated. And we had a toilet issue. He's going to try and move the pipe in the wall. That's going to be interesting. Anywho. Alrighty. Portal is now closed. We're back at it. Did I miss anything fun? I don't think I have. Let's, all right. AH says, use my FastFetch config. Oh no. Do I do it? Do I trust AH? I think I do. Let's take a look at this FastFetch config. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go over here. I should have left the chat up. My bad, y'all. Let's open that link. What do we have? All right. Schema is getting pulled from the FastFetch CLI and type kitty direct toad.png is the source. Interesting. Separator. We got software, title, OS, config, packages, LM, login manager, desktop environment, window manager, shell, terminal, terminal font, theme, icons, wallpaper, Wi-Fi. Dang. Okay. It's going to be a lot. We got the age and uptime. I feel like I just want to fix mine, though. Just, let's see. There's still a problem here. I am going to find it. That's just a little too much information, AH. I kind of want more succinct. You know, there's only so much I want to know. Might have been too much. Now, still getting failure here. Why? How are we gonna You're digging yourself a deeper hole the longer you wait for exercises. I know. Maybe tomorrow. I've said that I don't know how many months in a row now. Isn't there a JSON C syntax validator? Mimosa? There has to be, right? I think that has to be a thing. All right, let's go syntax JSON linter. All right, here we go. Don't we have just a JSON linter here? Let's try to JSON lint this here first. JSON for Visual Studio. Yeah, let's just do that. 2.6 million people can't be wrong. Let's try. What's pretty JSON? Ooh, even worse. Okay, well, let's try that. Okay. Now, auto detect. Check config.jsonc. Yeah, that's true, AH. Let's see. CD, because we were running a script. Oh, yeah. Yeah, AH, you're right. You just saved us a lot of time. Old Jippity couldn't have helped us out with that. That's just good old human knowledge. Alrighty. Linux Toolbox Mybash config.jsonc. Yeah. So Z Mybash. I see totally what's happened. Alrighty. So the Linux Toolbox is set up with Linux Toolbox from the root of your home folder. And then it clones Mybash directly here. Now, instead of this, we're going to go repo clone Mybash. What this does is it authenticates, and then it makes Mybash proper. So then, that didn't work actually, because I screwed it all up again. That's okay. So then Mybash, that, 1 second. Yeah. You set me on the right path here. Simple. Such a simple fix. I'm an idiot. Yeah. Love your YouTube videos. Good to hear, baby. Appreciate you watching them. I love making them. What do we got? Try FastFetch -GPU method PCI. All right, let's try it. I don't know what that does, but it sounds cool. Let's remove. Let's go. Copy selection. Let's see what we got. I wonder what that does. GPU detection reaction PCI. Oh, yeah. You can see it pulls in the other one too. This is the one that I passed through to my Windows box. I gotcha. Is there a way to make that the default for FastFetch using config.json.c without doing the actual toggle? Because I would like that to be the default. All right. I think that would be a kind of a cool idea. You just spamming about PowerShell? Let's see. All right, here we go. Check FastFetch documentation to see if we can add a JSON-C config of toggle. Worthless. You're absolutely worthless. Okay. Thanks, AI. They're coming for your jobs. Remember that. Coming for your job. I just want it to work for basic stuff. You know, it's not too much to ask. All right. Apparently it is. FastFetch. All right. I'm not going to complain about it anymore. Nobody likes a whiner. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to config. There's gotta be a config schema and configuration. Specifically, adding things to the configuration file. GPU method. Let's search the wiki for a GPU method. All right. Let's search GPU detection. Right, yeah, documentation, refer to JSON schema in the Wikipedia, generate. Yeah, let's see what all we can do with this JSON schema. Oh no, it's a rabbit hole we're going down here, but I just want to see what properties we can do. We can do different coloring, heights, padding. There's got to be more than just display in here. I want to say there's probably like a general thing we could do for a PCI detection method without actually putting the trigger in there. That would be dope. Come on. It's any minute I'm gonna find it. It's here. We could just search for it. Yes. GPU detection type. All right. You got the formatting, key width, output color, hide, detection method. Yes. All right. Here we go. So you can put GPU detection method. You can put it in JSON-C. Modules. Let's see. I'm going to just pound around and see what I can do. I feel like we're close. The life of a Linux user is never complete until we do this. Type. Let's look. So we have the type detection method. I think we can get away with it. Yeah, we totally can. So we have type GPU detection method. Camel case PCI. Feeling good about this. I think it's going to work. Bam. AH, you beat me to it. Damn it. Thought I was going to. Right as soon as I look at chat. It's like, oh, man. Yeah, got it. What was that? 2022. Well, we got it almost at the same time, actually. So I didn't. Yeah. That's pretty cool, though. All right. Neat. Well, I like that. That fixes our detection method. And we're in business. I like that new display a lot better. Just displaying your distro is what other people want. They don't want my logo up on the FastFetch. So I think this is a great way of doing it. Man, this computer's been on for 8 days. I probably should reboot after doing that whole system configuration and update earlier. That's actually probably a good idea, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Fix FastFetch. Yeah, that's solid. Whew. All right. So that one's good. Let's go back and start clearing out some of these PRs that we were working on. We've done linting for Mybash. We've updated FastFetch to be a little more sensible and more universal for most people, so it's not terrible. This is my new alias is for LS. Let's see what he's doing here. LS, LAP, alphabetical support, list hidden files, LLA, LSLA, LAS, LLS, list. We already have it in LL right here. That's long listing format, though. Actually, not that bad. I don't mind those additions for aliases. That kind of makes sense to me. Although for that alphabet, oh, he's just adding a space. Yep. Approved. I like those changes. That's solid. Merge. I like Nabarro. I'm lazy. I appreciate Glorious Egg Roll for cherry picking the patches. That's fair. GE's just great all around. He's a good dude. Add missing space. My first pull request. Oh, Lord. Wow, it actually already fixed in the past pull request. Sorry, man. Someone beat you to it. All right, replace the documents icons with a new one. It's already been removed from official nerd fonts. Oh. So there's a cheat sheet how to put in here examples of new usage. That's the old one removed. which is F718. It was replaced with F0219. What's he using for his cheat sheet here? That's kind of cool, though. I mean, I appreciate it. So it's just changing that one thing out. Very cool. It's always those little things that drive you crazy on Linux. Like the non-showing of a document. I would have let this go for a couple years, then I'd be like, wait a second, my document icons aren't showing up. What the hell? What's Linux doing to me? And at the end of the day, I just didn't know that they deprecated that icon and made it to where, well, there's more than 1,000 icons now, so they needed to add a fourth character or a fourth digit. And there you go. So if you're using an old version of an icon that's using the old one, it is now F0219 for nerd fonts. I did not know, but good to know. Like it. All right, feat distribution function add ID underscore like check. Oh, damn. Okay, this is something. What are we doing? We got a switch for ID like. Only if D type is still unknown. Huh. What is ID like? I don't even see that variable. Oops. Actually, so here's ID. I'm unsure what this is doing. So we got Red Hat, SUSE, Debian, Gentoo, Arch, Slackware. Well, a wise man once said, if you don't understand a pull request, don't accept it. I don't understand what he's doing with ID like. Check for, okay, let's read his comments first. Okay, let's see. Realize the check for a description is only being done through the ID field. I added a way to check through ID like at the default case. Check ID like. What the hell is this variable? I've never seen this variable in my life. Oh, I think I'm about to learn something. So when you're specifying an operating system, ID variable gets usually declared like Fedora, Debian, but ID like can be used if it's like a derivative. Oh, crap. So let's say you're on like a Pop OS or Mint or Elementary or something like that. It's going to be like ID like Ubuntu instead of just ID. Oh, that's cool. All right. Well, learn something new. There's an ID like. So all those little derivatives that are just forks of forks, it's going to need this ID like. Because there's going to be people with weird derivatives of Ubuntu. I mean, honestly, derivatives of Ubuntu and Debian right here will get used like mad. Because it's like 80% of the distributions out there are like Ubuntu and Debian forks. Yeah, that's cool. All right, I didn't even know that was a thing. Thanks, Cherub. You're the man. I was about to close your PR. That's why I said never take offense. Just, I probably am stupid and don't understand your pull request. So I was like, wait a second. That's cool. I like it. All right, moving on. Manjaro bash RC. Now this ID like probably would have taken care of that as well. But we can go ahead and merge that as well. I don't see a problem with it. The ID like will actually probably pick up the slack on it as well. But in case it doesn't, this will just be like a triple check. The more the merrier on checks. You can't go wrong with that. Unless you screw up the syntax, and then, well, then you can. All right, update bash RC. What's Joshua got? Add timestamp to history. Add alias to clean up unused Docker containers, images, networks, volume. Ooh, I think I'm going to like this one. All right, we got history format. Timestamp, yes. Oh, clean. Look at this. Look at this Docker clean command. Docker-clean. It does a container prune, image prune, network prune, and volume prune. If you've never done that with your Docker, run that. Old Joshua knows his stuff. I like it, Joshua. I always forget to run that crap. Having an alias, I'll definitely run it more. And it is now part of my bash. I appreciate the commit. That is cool. All right, yeah. For all those Dockers users, make sure you're cleaning about every, at least once every 6 months or so. Add warning for sudo group. Ooh, oh, here we go. Sal, he was in chat earlier. If commanding, oh, but we're missing the for loop here. And we're missing this too. Okay. Damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. Ah, sad face. He's like missing a whole bunch of stuff. No, I can't accept it. Darn it. How to approve workflows? I want workflows running on all of these. Damn it. All right. Think about this. How to approve and run workflows on all PRs. Yeah, what am I missing? Huh. Let me look at our code again. Oh, let's open the right folder now. Since we've deleted that, let's come into the Linux Toolbox, Mybash, open, and let's look at our GitHub workflow. I think we need to give perms on this on push and pull request. Let's see. Give me suggestions on making this GitHub action better. I have a very low-end PC. Should I use Linux as I will be moving to university next year? That depends. What are you doing? You might need Windows. It just depends on what you're doing at university. If it's like development work, well, you probably get away with Linux for the most part, unless you're using like Visual Studio Community Edition or some crap. Yeah. It just more depends on the software that you're using, and I'd probably recommend that. If you're stuck on Windows, I'd say, hey, just use my debloat, get rid of and try and cut that process count down, have as little running as possible, and try to just keep a clean PC. If you can get away with doing Linux, I'd say do Linux. You know, if you can, it's obviously way less bloated. You don't have nearly the overhead you have with Windows, so it's going to run a lot better on lower end machines. It just depends on your needs at university. So that's my thought process. But yeah, let me know if there is something that you need specifically. But other than that, yeah, Linux is a great option. All right, now no linting errors found. Linting errors found. So we got that, which looks good. The shell check. It looks like it's caching the shell check, so it's not having to download and install it every time. The checkout, Ubuntu latest, and then we have the fallback matrix, I guess. I think that'll be fine. Runs on Ubuntu latest strategy. Okay. Matrix testing. The strategy section allows the linter to run on multiple versions of Ubuntu. All right. Caching, action steps, caches. Improved logging, adds echo statements to improve the logging output. Gotcha. Yeah, that's fine. Still not going to really do what I want it to do, but, you know, should be good enough. Although, what error is it giving? What's the warning here? Let's see. ID cache shell check. Okay. Does that fix it? Perfect. Now we don't have any warnings. Should be able to submit. All right, let's see if Jippity did us right or not. Cross your fingers. Let's just remove that. Let's add another, add existing, and we're just going to grab Mybash from the Linux Toolbox. Yep, perfect. We should probably add something to just do like a git pull instead of a git clone if the directory already exists as well. Update workflow. Should fetch. All right, let's see what that does. We have this one outstanding from Sal. I might just leave that open. Let's go to actions. Let me check up with chat here. What do we have? Why don't you consolidate all your dot files into a single GitHub repository? Why do you need 40 different repos? So dot files are a different thing. The big thing here, AH, and what we're doing is I want to make this universal for everyone. Now, just saying, here's my dot files is great. And if you're a Linux user and you understand Linux, you should be able to take my dot files and just take them and install them on your system just fine. But the problem with that is a lot of new people watch me and they're just starting their Linux journey. It'd be much easier just to make sure it all does it properly for them, so they're not having to figure out, hey, where do I put this? And then we go. That's my thought process behind all this. I really want to make it easy and just remove as much friction in Linux as possible. So it just does a lot of stuff automatically for people. And as better, if I can give a better starting point for more people on more of a base distribution like Arch or Debian, they're less likely to distro hop a whole bunch. They're less likely to install a bunch of different Linux distros thinking, oh, this one's going to be different. and then it ends up being exactly the same or just a little different, but worse in some areas. And then they just installing a whole bunch more distributions before inevitably they go back to Mac or Windows. And I don't want that. I really want to make the barrier of entry to Linux as low as possible. Yeah, the first 6 hours is most crucial. And that's if we can give a couple really good experiences and give some people some wins. They're going to get plenty of losses. So the diehard Linux users and the neckbeards out here going, hey, Titus, you can't make it too easy for them now. Trust me, there's plenty in Linux that is plenty hard. The less friction we can have and have some really good wins. If they can have a really good base NeoVim setup just with a click of a button, have a really cool looking bash that makes them feel awesome in the terminal, great. Have their system set up in a sane way where they have all the dependencies for gaming, Steam, development environment with a click of a button. That will get so much of their base done that when they do run into problems, they're like, I can figure that out, or I can go do that or Google that answer. But they're not having to Google 100 different things when I could take care of 90 of those 100 things. And that's really what I'm trying to get to, is just get them to a spot where they can adopt Linux because they've already had so many wins before they hit the problems with Linux. Because too many people, like I've seen so many Linux, I'm switching to Linux YouTubers and YouTube videos, and almost all of them end up being really cringe because they end up getting stopped by a lot of the more base stuff. And that's terrible. I really want them to get stopped more by software limitations or companies that really try and screw us over. That is more reasonable to me. And to them, I'd say, hey, yeah, there's always these alternatives. There's always going to be those, but we can remove a lot of friction, like a ton of friction. And that's what I really want to do. That's the whole idea behind this project. Oh, yeah. So we looked at your PR, but there was it wasn't up to date with the current code. We've added so much to the bash that it's like way out of date right now. I went through I think 13 different PRs on Mybash. I've been just like a PR machine today. All right, but let's get back. All right, so how is our workflow running? So we have this. We do have, what I want. Okay, it did end up running eventually. Does this project work for non-Arch distros? Yeah, that's the whole point. It should work on pretty much every distribution. There's going to be some weird ones out there that's obviously it won't work quite well, such as like NixOS is kind of the one that comes to mind because everything is configured through a configuration file, like configuration.nix in your etc folder. But I mean, obviously it's not going to work for that. NixOS is not really meant to be configured in that method. It's meant everything to be configured from one file. So those distros are kind of like the one-off things. Probably immutable ones would be a little difficult or tricky to get. Not impossible though. Those will be a little bit, we'll have to tackle that idea. Like I'm thinking Bazite and a few others that are like immutable, where we could do like a Flatpak or containerized setup for them. But that's in the future. This will cover like 90-something% of the distributions out there. What do you think of OpenSUSE? I bought a magazine that's supposed to walk you through that step by step. That's the distro that they're promoting. SUSE is okay. I actually had a pretty good experience with SUSE. I put it like number 5 or 6 on my distro list for personal use. I really liked their open build installer. I think it was like OBI or something. It was like the AUR for Arch. And I'd say their package delivery system or package manager, Zipper, is amazing. So yeah, OpenSUSE is not a bad distro. I think it's a solid distro. Chris, need to make us a nice, pretty snapper, BetterFS script. Yeah, true. Maybe, for backup, let's talk backup here for a second. What if we do back in time? Have you guys used that? Linux back in time. An easy to use backup tool for GNU Linux using rsync in the back. It's kind of cool, and it's in active development. And I think I like it better than time shift that I have been using. I'm tinkering around on the laptop from K-Focus that I've got, and I really like this configuration specifically. And we can see it has active development. 18 hours was the last commit. So I might try something like this. As far as installation, what does it look like for the installation? It is included in many GNU Linux distributions. We can do, if you want to contribute or give you on the latest, go to the build and install stage. So here's the dependencies. What's the binary file, I wonder? Let's see if it's in Arch. Kind of curious. Paru back in time. It's in the AUR. Let's try it out. Now that I recommended it. Simple CLI version. Let's get the GUI version with some Qt action. Back in time. So I liked I tried it out for a little bit there. All right. Yeah, the Git version's Qt6. Yeah, Snapper's kind of a weird backup tool. I tried back in time. Snapper's way better. Really, Chuck? All right, let's see. Let's let chat decide. All right. Back in time. Would you like to restore a previous? Nah. Well, that's uglier than sin. Auto remove, include, exclude, general. Kind of cool. All right. I think we're gonna purge this and go with the Git. That was actually kind of ugly. As I talked up the software, I installed this version. I'm like, I don't like it. Let's go with the Git. Let's go. Let's try Qt6. Hopefully they improve the GUI a little bit. I didn't like that one. I was like, it's kind of ugly. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, I think Ubuntu comes with it. Do you want to remove black? Yes. Yes, proceed with this install. All right. So now we're going to try back in time again. All right. Appears the first time. Okay, it's not blown up like crazy. I like it. Import and existing. No. Okay, so not much change. Expert options. Include. Okay, great. Here is time shift. This is what I use all the time. So that's my current one on this system. You can see 628. So this is actually pretty solid. And then let's try Snapper. Chuck earlier mentioned Snapper. Snapper. Now that's right in the AUR. It's been a little bit since I tried Snapper. Snapper. I don't think, does Snapper have a GUI front end? 2 years ago, there was one Snapper GUI. This is the first search I did though. Snapper-GUI. All right, let's try it. Snapper-GUI. Let's see what the most popular is. Oh, well, there isn't the most popular. It just says one thing found. All right, fine. Let's build it. No real active development with Snapper though. 2 years for their GUI. So if you're going to use Snapper, probably CLI it. But before we pass judgment, let's see. Yeah, this is what I remember. I don't like it compared. If you want a GUI, time shift it. I think time shift has the best GUI out of both. If you want to go CLI, I think Snapper would be okay. Their GUI sucks though. That's just a terrible GUI. Yeah. But it works best with BetterFS and Grub. Good to know. Yeah, BetterFS insistent instead. Probably would be better. To be fair, the GUI works. It just calls Snapper CLI commands. So there's not much to maintain. That's fair. That's a fair point. I'm just thinking from aesthetics point of view, which I know most Linux users don't care about aesthetics. Okay. So anyways, that's a kind of overview of all the different backup softwares. We have Linux Toolbox, Mybash. Let's go into, we've already finished all the pull requests over on Mybash. Let's move. I think all the other ones, let's look at the LinUtil real fast. Do we have any? We have one outstanding pull request here, documentation fixes. All right. Huh. That's not quite where I'd put that. Yeah. This is actually, yeah, it's close. It's better than what the initial one is. Damn. I should probably tell people how to use this thing. It's always a hot mess when you first start out. But this is actually good. A good first run. Yeah. Let's go. Let's just merge it. kind of like it at least have some kind of graphic. But how this should be done, I think, honestly, I don't like that. I think we make a release for LinUtil. This is actually a binary, Rust binary. So what this should look like, actually, let's have something so if you are following this at all, you could grab it and actually run LinUtil without downloading it. Or we could, do I want them to download it or not? Hell, let's bash curl it. Oh God, whoever watches this, they could learn how to really infect a ton of Linux users. Screw it. Hey, it'll be fine. Let's just edit it. This, instead of downloading and cloning this entire directory, let's just go bash less than go curl -l that, and I want to say that type of command right there. Let's run it, make sure it actually works. Would probably work. What that does is it opens up a different bash prompt and runs it directly without actually downloading on the system. So something like this. Binary is not going to work. It works good for bash scripts, but not this. Because if we do like a wget, let's just make sure one that does run. I'd hate to, yeah, LinUtil. Did it download it? Yeah, it did. Yeah, so this would need to be executable. That's, yeah, well, that's why Linux is more secure than Windows. You can't do crap like that. Maybe, I bet there's a way. Let me think. What's the best way to get around this? Yeah. With Windows, I can pretty much just, man, there's a ton of different ways. I know how to get around UAC and all that. Linux, what's the best way to run this? Yeah, I'm trying to think. How do I want people to run it? I think if we do a wget of LinUtil and LinUtil, I feel like that's fine. We could also set up a program for LinUtil as well. I think this would be okay, but we do need to fix something in LinUtil first. If you look here, it does look okay, but if we come back here, let's remove LinUtil here, Linux Toolbox. Let's just do a wget. Can we write it out as executable? I don't know. Yeah, we tried a curl -l. That didn't work because it's not executable. Although, now AH got something. Let's see what you come up with. This is how I start my Linux Rust Toolbox. What do we got? I got you. You're doing a start script, and then you're launching it this way. Yeah, we could do something like that. Do, wanted something a little more elegant. That does work, though. Unless someone else has something, I'm going to have to go with Steven's suggestion here. It's dirty, but it works. I can tell right now it works. Because that's exactly what I was thinking of. It'd be pretty easy to do. Yeah, make temp -d, put LinUtil there would be better, no? Probably. I probably would do the wget in its own directory as well. Reload the website. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, you just had Steven Gamer there. Oh, so you fixed that. But I would have caught it. Those are some good ideas, though. Yeah, you could do a GH clone. Some people aren't going to have the GitHub CLI in or authenticated, so GH clone might not be the best. I'd much rather do a git clone. Morning. Yeah, been a bit of a long day, but I missed yesterday's stream, so I was like, I got to get a stream in. So we're getting a stream in one way or another here. Yeah, I think we're going to rock this. I will change this a little bit, though. Let's just accept this. And sure, what do we have? Yeah. Curl is installed by default. I've seen distros with curl, but not wget. But I haven't seen any distros without curl, but with wget. Fair enough. Here, we can change that real fast. Let's just go edit. Curl -l. It should be just curl-l, right? So if we look, where'd it go? We got to do an out file, right? I don't know how to use curl. Talk about a brain fart. All right, let's just curl and then dash dash output. All right. All right, curl. And this is why we test. I want to say just dash O, honestly. Dash O, LinUtil. Ah, it didn't work. Could not resolve host LinUtil. Is it a lowercase o? Ah, lowercase o. No. Do I have to do dash dash output? So that's some real basic stuff. I know, man. I don't use curl very much. Ah, no, dash O works. It's just not grabbing the file to dash O. Yeah, group learning. That's what I'm all about. Well, it should grab that, should it not? Oh, let's check to see if the URL is valid. It's grabbing 0 bytes. Yeah, let's leave. No, it grabbed it. What is wrong with this command? Well, I mean, the whole idea. Well, right now we're just workshopping like the easiest way to grab an executable and run it in like a copy paste. We can do a bash script, but now we're kind of arguing back, kind of going back and forth, wget or curl. Obviously, I am drawing just a blank here on curl usage, and that's my bad. This should be technically something like LinUtil. Yeah, it very much like learning a language. It's a great analogy. I love it. Let's commit those changes, I guess. I'm just gonna let's just merge. It's fine. Let's just approve these and push it forward. Let's mess around on the main branch. It's not like anybody's using this project anyways. Squash and merge. Let's go. Let's make it happen. All right, let's pull it in. And GitHub, where you at? GitHub, LinUtil, open. All right, over here, let's come on over to LinUtil, fetch it, pull us down all them changes. And now, what we're gonna do, let's come on over into start. What is wrong with my curl command? Old Jippity, let's see. Ah, yes. So dash L, I was correct in that regard. All right, yep, accept. And let's go over to, why is setup bash even there? Why is this here? Let's delete that. And we have LinUtil already committed, but there's the start. Yeah, no, we're fine. What I want to grab too, I want to grab this setup script. Oh, let's open recent. I want to grab, no, where are you at? All right, fine. We'll just come on over to the Linux Toolbox, Mybash, setup. All right, for this setup, I do want to get this section, kind of all the Toolbox stuff I want kind of standardized. So it's going to look something like this. And then we're going to cd Linux Toolbox directory. However, if we look at the bash, we do need this. Quotes. And that will appease the shell check gods. Now, we are in the base of the toolbox. This kind of launches everything. I want it to output directly here. Would this work? It should. But for whatever reason, I don't think that will. Don't forget to chmod the start. I think we can get away without chmodding it, actually. Let's first try. Let's first try the start. So we have this. Let's remove LinUtil. Okay. And from this guy, just getting rid of setup bash start. I don't want anybody else trying to do command setup bash or use it. So start, fix, let's push. So if you want to run something that's not executable in Linux, I think you can actually just call it directly from bash. So what this looks like is, let's fix this README file as well. So instead of doing it this way, what we can do is a curl-l, and let's go https://raw. Let's make sure that actually downloads. Perfect. And this, even with it not being executable, it should actually run it, believe it or not. Virus creators everywhere rejoice. All right. So coming back into our LinUtil, I got to redo my pin distros too. All right, so this is our new command. And if I did it right, it would actually come in here and drop it in here. Let's just go down and back into like our home directory. Let's hit that. Nice. That's exactly what we want. And we go into Linux Toolbox. Perfection. So now we're using curl instead of wget. We have one command. Just drop that into your terminal. It'll make the Linux Toolbox directory and run it. And then we can do Mybash or whatever else we need. That's pretty sweet. So that's a really nice one-off, just bam, right in. It's running the binary. Stuff still broken everywhere, but, you know, baby steps. Rome wasn't built in a day. You'll hear me say it a lot. More times than I probably should. All right, and yes. Let's see, we didn't miss anything in chat. I think we got? Yeah, Linus Torvalds is really interesting. I think he had trouble installing Debian, I remember. And people were laughing at him for that. But I mean, he's a kernel developer. I mean, it makes sense. It's what he's like doing day in and day out. That's just a unique mind. All right. So all this looks great. Yeah, you can't know everything. That's the thing. I think too many people. It's lost on a lot of people these days. All right. So we're going to take that. We're good. We're going to close out of this. Let's reboot our system. We did install like 1,000 packages or something ridiculous at the start. I guess we should try that. Make sure we didn't break our arch. It's the little things. Anytime you install Arch, you're like, well, maybe this could blow up my system. Let's roll the dice. Let's have some fun. Does Elgato still randomly die on you? Well, I don't use any of their USB crap. So all my Elgato stuff's pretty hardwired, and I use the PCI stuff, which is pretty nice. So it's fine. I still don't really like their capture card. I really enjoyed the Magewell. The Magewell one, it had 2 HDMIs, and I'm always tempted to toss that one back in, but the Elgato Pro gives me 4 HDMIs, but you got more input not supported shenanigans and that type of thing, which kind of sucks. But yeah, such is life. Are you not live on Twitch? No. Yeah, I'm live on Twitch. YouTube's just more chatty today. That's like a first, isn't it? All right. Our Arch came back up. So we got that going for us. Best code editor? Ooh, man. Vim, right? NeoVim. Hey, whatever works. If you like Twitch, Twitch is cool. If you like YouTube, YouTube's cool with me. I don't care either way. I multi-stream to both, so you guys can have it out in chat. Personally, what I like to do whenever I watch another streamer, I'll pull up his stream on YouTube because I have YouTube Premium, so no ads, right? That's a win. But Twitch, I find YouTube's chat just kind of sucks. I really hate YouTube chat. Me personally, from like a viewer standpoint, I'm talking streamer, it sucks too, but for a whole different reason. So what I like to do is I'll pull up their stream if they're multi-streaming on YouTube and watch it there, and then I'll pull up Chatterino over here. So usually what it looks like is, let's just go Chatterino. I'll pull it up over here, have that going, but then I'll have the browser over here with the stream up and watch it. So I'm actually on both platforms, and I just utilize Twitch's IRC chat, which I think is superior. And then I think YouTube's video is superior, so I end up using it a lot too. And that way I kind of get both. uBlock's good. It just doesn't block all of Twitch ads. Twitch ads kind of are a pain to block. So, and I end up using YouTube a lot more than Twitch for a lot of video. So this is that. And then what I end up doing is pulling up old YouTube. So here's how you have to do it as a creator. You got to pull up like the live stream dashboard, which takes forever to load. It looks something like this. And then you just got to pop out the chat. And I'm like, okay, cool, chat. 112 people over on YouTube today. Heck yeah. So then I'll take that, toss it over. And then I usually do a little bit of a balance. Pull it in like that. I wish I could, yeah, we could scale that up a little bit. Better. Bam. Yeah, But yeah, decrease it just a hair. Yeah, right in there is probably good. And there's my setup for streaming. Have you ever thought about doing a multi-episode tutorial on flakes? Why and how to use them? Like, Chris, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. But inevitably I'm kind of like wishy-washy with Nix. I like Nix, but sometimes I'm like, it just doesn't have a lot of mainstream appeal, but I love it for its reproducibility. So I kind of go back and forth with Nix. I think there's something there, though. I really do love Nix. It's probably in my top 3 distros. I'd probably put Nix at number 3. I love Arch first, Debian second, probably, and then Nix OS third. That's probably like my top 3 Linux distros, just because each one has a specific use case, and I really love all 3 of them. It's almost like picking your favorite child, which you should never do. But if I'm being honest, Arch is my favorite child. I definitely enjoy myself in Arch more. Oh, no Fedora, no Ubuntu. Ubuntu's the devil. Fedora is as well. Any Linux distribution created by a Linux-based company, I think, is just trash these days. Canonical's done enough crazy things. Red Hat's done enough crazy things. SUSE's done some bonkers things as well. I mean, I'd probably call SUSE probably the most sane out of all 3. But they all have a tendency to just not really follow the Linux rules when it's not convenient to them. And I just can't get behind that. Any kind of Linux company, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Red Hat, this whole last year, them trying to kind of close off parts of their source code, at least make it not easily obtainable, so they could try and shed the dead weight per their C-suite or whoever the hell said that at Red Hat. And Canonical's done all kinds of craziness in the past, from installing like Amazon tracking links. I think that was Ubuntu 14 or 16. That was a while back. Actually, I don't think Ubuntu's really done anything stupid in the... Well, no, the Snap Store. Snap Store is kind of closed off. And then you had a whole bunch of... Oh, God, what was the drama? I think Brody covered it, where there was a whole bunch of crypto wallets that made it on the Snap Store and was stealing people's cryptocurrency. That was fun. Well, I mean, hey, I'm always up for the debate here. I mean, that's the thing. Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. Is there something I said that was factually inaccurate? I mean, I always like to be corrected. If I am saying something wrong, I don't like looking stupid. So if I am wrong on something, definitely say, hey, this is the actual truth behind it. If I'm misrepresenting something, let me know. But it's just how I see it. Red Hat screwed over all the CentOS developers that upgraded CentOS 7 servers to CentOS 8 servers. CentOS 8 was supposed to have 10 years of support. So many people in the space, sysadmins, upgraded their servers from CentOS 7 to 8, spent several weekends doing such, and then getting rug pulled by Red Hat a year later going, oh, just kidding. CentOS 8's going away. So you gotta pay us money and hop on the Red Hat subscription train. Or you could do Alma Linux, or move on to Rocky Linux as well. They're still viable solutions for those that have to have Red Hat based distros. They're not bad options. But yeah, those are the big things between Ubuntu's missteps and font failings. And also Ubuntu kind of feels sluggish to me. A lot of the snaps do perform worse, and they are slower than the other apt packages by comparison, which makes sense. I mean, you're packaging all those dependencies in with the snap, but also there's some inconsistencies and just a little bit. There's definitely some more optimization that Canonical needs to do. I'm trying to think of anything else here. What's SUSE really done that's really bad? I don't really have anything on that one. Maybe chat can help me out. But SUSE actually hasn't done anything in recent memory that's just straight up bad, like Red Hat or Ubuntu. So yeah, maybe my critiques of SUSE aren't well founded. SUSE bot Rune BD Rancher. Okay. What do you think about my last comment? Oh, what do we have? What was the last comment? Red Hat did that because Rocky didn't and still doesn't contribute to upstream. I mean, that's their prerogative. I mean, you can't close the source. It's like, think of all the source that Red Hat is using from all the other in the FOSS realm, and they're closing off the code. So it doesn't matter if they contribute or not. Let me give you a good example. Let me give you a good example of why this doesn't matter. So Red Hat wants to have their cake and eat it too, so to speak, because they want only if you're going to use a RHEL-based distro and you want it to be long-term service release, you need to pay them subscription money because they want money. I get it. I mean, money's nice. But if you close off these other ones, such as Oracle, Alma, Rocky, those are where people will use and learn about RHEL. I actually know quite a bit about RHEL-based distributions only because of CentOS. Well before Red Hat acquired CentOS, back in the olden days, CentOS 6 and 7, which is actually not that old ago. That was like 2010, really. 2010 through 2013 or 14, I think, when I was doing a lot of CentOS work. And I got to tell you, I got so many chats up on the screen. That was my interim to Red Hat. If CentOS did not exist, we wouldn't have used it. We wouldn't have paid for a subscription fee to Red Hat. We would have just used Debian. We would have just used something different that was more stable, that was open. That's the thing that Red Hat's missing here. You're missing an entire ecosystem. So to call these people freeloaders, I just can't get behind that. So that's what my thought process is. And I speak from experience. That's just how I learned Red Hat. Enterprise Linux distributions was strictly from CentOS back when it was completely open and independent of it being acquired by Red Hat before they destroyed it. So that's what I'm doing. The Hakon Feist to check it over. I'm a former Red Hat employee. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I would like that, man. Hit me up. We'll organize a time. I'd love to interview you. I think it'd be fun. And I love, like, don't get me wrong, I love CentOS 7. Like, if we're talking from a technical point of view, there's a lot of things Red Hat does right. The big thing I would say for Red Hat, as someone's a Red Hat former employee, the engineers over there did a great job. There was, I'd say, the least amount of security vulnerabilities from all the major branches of Linux. Red Hat did a great job of curating it and making sure it was stable and secure. Where I think when you look at the CVEs comparison, which CVE is just like security loopholes in Linux, when you look at the CVE comparison between, let's say, Red Hat and Debian, we're not going to use Arch because, good Lord, it's a rolling release. There's going to be a lot of different, I don't even know if they track it. That's how fast Arch changes. But when you compare just Red Hat Enterprise Linux to Debian, Debian's probably going to have 3 times more CVEs than the Red Hat comparison, because Red Hat does a pretty good job, especially with SE Linux. I consider it a superior product to AppArmor. But, you know, these days, I would rather set up a Debian-based server with AppArmor. I'd harden it and do the best I could, but I'd much rather set that up than to use the RHEL-based counterpart, just because, like, I don't have CentOS. I don't want to use Alma and Rocky because obviously Red Hat's really aggressive and wants to kill those distributions or that are based on it that are open and free. And I definitely don't want to give them a subscription fee. So my options really are Debian or Ubuntu, honestly. Ubuntu's really not that bad. So that's my views on it. And, you know, but yeah, definitely Tinley. I'd love to talk to you about it. It'd be cool. Because you definitely have more insider knowledge, and most of mine is more topical, actually being in the field, using the stuff for different things. I was using a lot of Linux stuff for like telephony work and that type of thing. Yeah, most of the engineers at Red Hat are open source lovers. And they do. I think it's just the management, really. It's just the management at Red Hat. I think they're just stupid, for lack of better words. But that's what happens when you get bought out by a big company like IBM. You know, they're just going to eventually dumb down a lot of the C-suite, and they're going to put in their cronies, and it's just going to run the company into the ground. Tale as old as time. Anywho, that was a fun little tidbit at the end here. Not that bad is not a confident endorsement. It's fair. It's like, it's not the worst thing in the world. What do you mean to say Ubuntu server is not that bad? Let me clarify. I do use Ubuntu server on occasion, specifically when I run to it in the field. I don't typically migrate. I usually just go, yeah, it's not that bad. We're going to just leave it. We'll just update. And my rationale behind that is usually I just disable snapd. It's all usually headless CLI, and Ubuntu server does a pretty good job of that. I don't have any issues with it, qualms, as much as I don't like Canonical. At the same time, if a client has a support package with them, or like Pro, they do have like live patch and some other cool little tech over at Canonical. That is neat to see on like Ubuntu server. And I can't say I've ever seen live patch really screw things up, which is saying something. I've seen enough. But yeah, Arch server is better. I've never seen an Arch server in production. So there is that. I've never seen a company go, let's roll Arch. And I've never had the balls to ever recommend something like that. That's that's kind of crazy. I use Gentoo for my desktop and server OS. That's awesome. In my opinion, Slackware is still the best drop setup and never touch again OS. Damn it. I got to use Slackware. I to this day, I have not really ever installed and utilized Slackware as a daily driver, be it a server or a desktop. So that's interesting, especially coming as an old RHEL-based employee. Because I know you have different like keys laying around where you could just use RHEL if you wanted. And yet you choose Slackware or Gentoo. That's kind of crazy. Surprising, actually. In before Rabbit AI runs on Arch. I saw the Rabbit AI stuff where they baked in their API keys. That's wild. That's just wild. I don't know why you'd ever do that. I don't even consider myself a developer. And to me, that just sounds bonkers. Like security, like 101, like first day. Don't expose your API keys. Yeah, no dir. Like that's just, they don't have anybody up there that knows anything if they're doing that. They're just ChatGPTing it up. They're like, hey, let's make an AI piece of software with AI. That's what it sounds like to me. That's wild when I saw that. Oh man, Rabbit's product could be just an app. No, it's not that it could be just an app. It's the fact it is an app. It's an APK. They've already been exposed. It's kind of funny. Yeah, the old R1 ping. That's wild. Chris, do you have a write-up on setting up Chatterino? I don't think I do, Chuck. It's pretty easy. The biggest thing where you get it, like if you're, I think you just go Chatterino. Let's see. Oh, not there. Chatterino.com. You can download it right here for Linux. Or no, not for Linux. I wouldn't download it here. For Windows, I'd download it here. If you're on Linux, I would go Flat Hub. Sorry. Brain fart. I've had a long day. Chatterino. So chatterino.com, or I would just come into FlatHub and directly install it. Here, I'll put it in chat for y'all. Oh, there you go. Rabbit Hole Escape R1. Oh, that's funny. And now GPT and Claude take pictures and they think they have apps. Oh my gosh. That's wild. How do I force the AMD GPU to use Zinc at login? I don't know if that's... Use Zinc at login? I don't know. Kubernetes now, some like in test environments and stuff, but inevitably This is a little embarrassing, but I'm just going to tell you, I always just end up using Docker because I've used Docker for years and years and years. And I'm just like, nah, good enough. Toss it up, move on. And I never had like such a large implementation that I needed like a cluster. If obviously it was a business critical thing, I would definitely want it in a cluster, because using, God, what is the star? What's the crappy cluster for Docker? I had to deal with it once. Yeah, Docker Swarm. That's it. Yeah. I don't know why my mind was brain. Awful. Absolutely awful. So yeah, for large implementations, I would definitely recommend Kubernetes clusters, but I'm not the guy for that. I know when Docker is just no good and when to move on. But for the most part, if it's just like a one-off thing here at my house, Docker's good. Or if it's a business and I'm just using it for like something small, I'll just usually just spin up a Docker container and do it that way. Spending our next paychecks on Steam's summer sale. I have been good. I haven't bought any more games. I've actually been just, I lied. I did buy the new Elden Ring DLC. It's pretty good. I like really enjoyed it. I played a little bit on stream. Docker is good to learn on. Yeah. It's just not good for all tasks, especially big tasks. I find that's where Kubernetes really, really is used. Should learn that stuff just for a resume, but I've got other things to do. I mean, once you get enough under your belt of experience and stuff, you're going to get the job usually, unless you're really bad at interviewing. Well, I think that's lost on a lot of people. If you're really good at interviewing, you'd be surprised at how many people will just hire you, even if you don't know that much. There's been plenty of jobs where I was like, I don't know if I want this job or not. I would go in the interview on an interview and I'd be like, yeah, that's probably not a good fit for me. And then they'd offer me the job. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I changed my mind. I think the thing that most interviewees lack too, sometimes you're just desperate for a job, and I get it. And you're like, okay, let's take this job. But sometimes when you interview with a company, if you ask the right questions, you should know, hey, is this the company for me or not? And you're also interviewing them. Hey, is this going to be a good fit? Because there's plenty of times where you're like, yeah, I think me and the hiring manager here might not get along, or I got bad vibes. Your best bet is to walk away from that. I interview way beyond my abilities. That's awesome. That's a good skill to have. I don't know if I ooze talent. As long as I think a lot of it is just more of a personality. If you think you can get along and have if I'm thinking, I can go have a beer with this person after I get done with the interview, I'm like, that's someone I'd want to work for. But if you don't think you could have fun at work, that would suck. That would really suck. Like, a lot of people probably still wonder why I have a day job. Well, two reasons really. One, I have to get $50,000 worth of sponsors on YouTube to get eligible for SAG-AFTRA so I could get health insurance. Fun fact, content creation in your 40s and you have a family and stuff, you still need insurance and stuff. And that's one of the loopholes I found, that where you can get insurance through a union that's actually pretty good. But there's one thing I really hate, and that's sponsors. Something about the actual, like those reads, the ad reads, I'm just bad at them. And it's like, now brought to our sponsor, check out BetterHelp, or check out, what is the other crappy ones that they're always recommending, like Incogni. God, such awful. Masterworks, God, that's just a straight up scam. And I've seen so many YouTubers create, God, there's so many YouTube sponsor scams out there. Opera GX, oh God. What else we got? There's just so many. Anyways, I have a hard time accepting sponsors because there's a reason why all those people give that. It's not like they haven't approached me. It's not like I haven't been offered the money for it, and the money is good. And if I was doing only this for a living, I would have to take those sponsorships, and I feel like my soul would die. I just can't. I'm just like, ugh. So that's the one big thing. Honestly, the Raid Shadow Legends wouldn't even bother me out of all the ones, because everyone knows what Raid Shadow Legends is. It's the things when it comes to like mini VPNs. It's just the ad reads and the talking points from those VNs are just complete and utter bullshit. It doesn't offer you any more security. It's not about privacy. All you're doing is just changing your location from, instead of coming from Texas where I'm at, I'll connect to another VPN server elsewhere and I'm just coming out from there. All it's doing is preventing me from getting DMCA'd or getting an nasty ISP letter that, hey, you downloaded Napster.mp3, whatever it is, or this movie using like Sonar or Radar, or Overseer. There's a lot. Anyways, digress. It's just many of those sponsors, like I'd say more than half are just straight up bad products that you cannot sell. Raid Shadow Legend, I don't even consider part of that 50. It's a mobile game. It's like a terrible mobile game because every mobile game is terrible. And I'm just like, yeah, I wouldn't even care about that one. Yeah. Yeah, in my country is not an issue. Yeah, and that's just it. But yeah, like if you ever hear a VPN talking point that isn't just saying, hey, if you want to torrent stuff, or if you want to geo unlock and pretend like you're in UK and you're in the States, that's okay. That's actually good talking points. That's the valid use of a VPN. But all of them end up saying, hey, be more secure and private online by using a VPN. And I'm like, that's not how that works. It's just not. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's my main issue. That's my main issue. I have a hard time taking sponsors. I get the same sponsors as everyone else. I get the same offers, and yeah, lots of hosting too. Lots of CD keys. I don't really like a lot of hosts. I don't like a lot of the CD key sponsors. I can't get behind their product. You're doing like a gray market sale of a key that may or may not work. Yeah, it's cheap. Probably will work, but do you really want to sponsor that? That's just, yeah. Anyhow, that's the life of a YouTuber. Woe is me. That's, I don't get me wrong. It's a fun job. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. Don't ever feel sorry for a YouTuber. It's an amazing thing. It's not lost on me. So thank you all for watching me, because it's cool and I still love it. And getting back to how all this got spawned, I love my day job too. I love the people up there. There's something magical about a 9 to 5, especially if you enjoy the people you're working for. I look forward to going into there and being able to chat with other people and walk around. Hey, how's everything working for you? Blah, blah, blah. There's something good about that. And maybe you might be thinking that's just Stockholm syndrome from doing that for so long. But there's days where I do miss that, and I like the 9 to 5. And that's why I still do both. I think there's good things and bad things about both, and I think I'm in a very fortunate position where I can do both. So to think you just go full time or do this, and I've waxed and waned on it over the years, but after doing this for 6 years now, I just have settled on I'm going to just keep doing both as long as I possibly can, because I really do enjoy doing both. And hell, nothing can beat the consistency and the paycheck and the benefits. You just got it. I just love it. Oh man, we got some Raiders. 116 Raiders from Loco or Elco. Good evening. We've been messing around with Linux Toolbox and Windows Toolbox today. It has been a blast. We should probably get back to it, but it has been a blast doing a lot of the shell scripting and everything. Oh man. Joel. Logo is a new one. I like it. Oh man. We did a bunch of NixOS troubleshooting. Wrote an Emacs Lisp. All right, man. I still love. What is my NixOS looking like? If you guys are doing NixOS, let's just pull up for all the raiders coming in. Let's just pull up my NixOS config. What's that look like? Do we have any pull requests? Were you guys doing flakes? Let's see. We were doing some shell scripting. LinUtil is currently what we're working on right here. This is like a shell wrapper. So the idea is to set up any Linux distribution, except for maybe NixOS, because all that's done with configuration.nix or a flake or home manager. There's a couple different ways. Anyway, yeah. We have the Linux toolbox. And what LinUtil does right now, not much, set up the bash prompt to kind of be my fancy one with FastFetch and stuff, and set up NeoVim. And we're also doing setup categories for like a new Arch Debian or Fedora install. But let's check out NixOS. Because that repo I have not touched in like 6 months. It has been a while. We were mostly debugging library problems with Rust. Had to deal with libc version mismatch solution. Oh, I got you. Let's see. I almost feel like doing a NixOS install, just an impromptu one. All right, here we go. NixOS Titus. What do we have? No pull requests on this one. I usually have some outstanding pull requests. Last commit was 3 months ago. Nah, 5 months ago, really. We have the hardware and configuration on here. Oh, all right. Let's pull up. We were doing home manager, but let's pull up the actual configuration of system. Yeah, let's just blow that up. Show y'all. So what I was doing with my Nix configuration, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Setting this up, and we were doing unfree distributions, or unfree packages, because I like to use Steam and many other things, because I do game on a lot of my Linux distributions. I permit insecure packages. For some odd reason, I kept getting OpenSSL errors on a lot of things. So I was just like, hey, I don't care that these are out of date. Just allow them. So I ended up just permitting insecure packages, OpenSSL, and also Python 2.7, because I think I was using a couple old Python packages that's a little problematic. So I'd omit those up here. We'd also do 32-bit support for OpenGL and Pulse. And then on boot, we were doing some fun stuff. The bootloader I'd set up as grub, and then do like EFI support, OS Prober for dual boot systems with Windows 10, timeout system with a menu. I also was doing some theming on the background. I have another repo for kind of theming out the bootloader, but this one worked. And let's see. Oh, here's a good one for NixOS users. This kernel sysctl, it changes your congestion control to BBR, so you're going to actually get faster network transfers. And it's actually substantially quicker. It makes things a lot snappier, so you might try this out on your NixOS configurations. What else we got? Networking. It's just host name. Oh, God, I was disabling IPv6. Don't do that. Unless you really hate IPv6, but you're going to probably need that. So I would change that line. What else we got in here? Terminus font. Oh, yeah. Always do this so you can actually have readable font. It's really good. I would highly recommend that. Yeah. So if you're unfamiliar, like with TTY, well, let's just drop it. TTY. What do we got? Control Alt. Let's go. Control. Ah, man, come on. There we go. Give me TTY. No? Oh, there we go. All right. So let me just log in. You can't see right because it's console. And it looks like crap. But if we go set font, V, let's go 28B. Set font all one word, not hyphenated. V28B. Oh God, I'm on 4K resolution. Dang. Yeah. Oof. That's rough. Well, usually it would look a lot better. Sadly, I'm on like this whack resolution because of my card. So let me get back here. Can I get back? All right. Come on. Nothing? No, nothing. Let's try TTY7. Arch is TTY. Yeah. There he goes. We're good. We're back. All right, take it easy. But yes, 4K, what happened to 1080p 60 display? So, fun fact, my stupid capture card likes to grab everything and display it in 4K. And I was like, is IPv6 really necessary? Not really, Matt. A lot of things get converted from IPv4 to IPv6. If you do it in Windows, there's something called Toretto tunneling that actually does a live translation from IPv4 to IPv6. So it doesn't really even matter. I personally disable Toretto tunneling because if you don't have that, it could add some latency, but mileage will vary depending on your current networking setup. Let's see, what else was I doing here? Oh, I was setting up X server. Still a big Xorg Windows DWM guy. This was just a setup script that I was running saying, hey, this is exactly how I want my monitors configured, resolution with that. We did auto login, so it auto log in as my user. And then I do something called an overlay with NixOS. This is kind of cool because I really like my, why does this say CTT? Oh, I was doing Home Manager. Oh, crap. I forgot about that. Anywho, this would actually build out my DWM from my GitHub. So it would download, clone the repo, build my current DWM configuration, and then go out. Yeah, update the path to your DWM folder. Yeah, that's currently broken, so I need to fix that. But you would do an overlay, and it would actually build your DWM with this, but you need to clone your DWM. If you're getting it directly from suckless.org, wherever you cloned it to, this would be the path for that clone. And then just user-based packages, Steam configuration for remote play and dedicated servers, fonts. Believe it or not, you're not supposed to put your font packages with the packages, the general like system packages. You kind of want them separated out in this fonts packages. Something that I kind of made a mistake when I first did Nix. And then I was set up virtualization because I was doing PCI pass-through as well with Nix. Here's system packages, which I only have Vim in there, which is kind of shocking. Does seem a little bit on the light side of packages. I must have put a crap ton in my home manager. Sad to say. I think that's what I did. Home Nix. Yeah. That's where I put all my packages. I was like, where's all my packages? Yep, they're all right here in Home Manager. I really don't like doing a Home Manager setup, believe it or not. I kind of like everything in just the configuration.nix. After I did Home Manager, kind of did the configuration, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I get it. But for my personal setup, I just kind of like everything in one file and then just be done with it. Anywho, fun for the raiders that came in. There's my little Nix setup since you guys were messing with it. Oh, all right. Well, I've been streaming for about 4 hours. I think I'm going to shut it down for the day. Where would everyone like to go? YouTube, I'm out. Deuces. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Have a good one. See you guys in the next one. The next stream's going to be next Tuesday. So YouTube, see you guys later.